It's been a long wait, but Panthers football is finally back. And after this preseason, there are plenty of reasons to believe Carolina is turning a corner. We saw some promising flashes, especially from the rookies, even if the win column didn't show it. From Tetairoa McMillan's highlight reel catches to Nick Scorton's relentless energy and Lathan Ransom's ball-hawking plays, Carolina's young core gave fans something to get excited about. And while the offense had its bumps along the way, the adjustments we saw late in preseason, paired with key veterans returning healthy, suggest this team is ready to take a real step forward in 2025. McMillan wasted no time showing why the Panthers grabbed him at number 8 overall. In the very first preseason game, McMillan hauled in a beautiful 30-yard over-the-shoulder catch down the sideline from Bryce Young, twisting 6 feet 5 inches frame to snag the perfectly placed ball. Head coach Dave Canales was thrilled, calling it a sign of good things and exactly why they drafted McMillan, to stretch the field and make big plays. McMillan finished that debut with 2 catches and nearly had a third for a touchdown that just slipped through his hands. More importantly, he immediately built chemistry with Young, who said, "I have all the confidence in the world in him." It's clear this Young McMillan connection could be the cornerstone of Carolina's offense for years to come. On defense, second-round rookie edge rusher Nick Scorton has quickly become a fan favorite for his motor and aggression. In the preseason opener against Cleveland, Scorton made the hustle play of the game, maybe of the entire preseason. On a 3rd and 13, he flushed Shedeur Sanders out of the pocket, chased him across the field for what ended up being a 74-yard sprint, and finally shoved him out after a 1-yard gain. It was a jaw-dropper of an effort. Coach Canales raved that it was his favorite play of the night, praising Scorton's relentless pursuit and non-stop motor. Scorton showed exactly why Carolina drafted him. He's an absolute game wrecker who simply doesn't quit. The Panthers see him and fellow rookie pass rusher Princely Umanmielen as their future edge duo, and they flash great energy together, setting edges and rushing the passer. One small setback came when Scorton sustained a minor injury mid-preseason, a collapsed lung he himself described as minor, with no long-term timetable concerns. The hope is he'll be ready to unleash that same energy in week 1, not to be outdone. Rookie safety Lathan Ransom made sure his name was in the conversation too. He snagged an interception in the preseason finale against Pittsburgh, jumping a Mason Rudolph pass to give the Panthers a takeaway. Even before that, he had been turning heads in camp, hauling in a one-handed interception in scrimmages and even catching an 80-yard fake punt on special teams. Coaches praised his instincts and study habits, with Dave Canales noting that Ransom always seems to be in the right spot. With his nose for the ball and ability to contribute on defense and special teams, he's earned a role in the rotation. His pick in the finale was the perfect capstone to a strong preseason, and with young defensive backs like Jeremy Chin and J.C. Horn, Carolina's secondary looks reloaded with energy and playmaking. But the real story for Carolina isn't just the rookies, it's the returning talent that could help tie everything together. At the center of it all is Bryce Young. Coming off a rocky rookie campaign, Young entered this preseason with more confidence and a steadier pocket presence. While there were hiccups, like the rough outing against Houston where the offense couldn't find a rhythm, there were also glimpses of growth. Young's leadership was evident as he kept encouraging teammates and building timing with McMillan and the rest of the receiving core. He's now working in Dave Canales' quarterback-friendly system, and the expectation is that with better protection and a true number 1 target, Young can finally start to silence the critics and show why he was a former number 1 pick. The run game will also be key, and Chuba Hubbard returns as a player Carolina can lean on. Hubbard flashed last season as a tough downhill runner who kept drives alive when blocking or passing game consistency wasn't there. He has a chance to build on that and serve as the steadying force for this offense, balancing things out and taking pressure off Young. With a rebuilt offensive line and a deeper backfield rotation, Hubbard's consistency could be the glue that helps this offense stay on schedule. The Panthers also made a sneaky move by bringing in Hunter Renfrow, a veteran receiver who adds a new element to the passing game. Renfrow may not be the flashiest signing, but his precise route running and ability to find soft spots in coverage make him the perfect security blanket for a young quarterback. He complements McMillan's size and explosiveness by working the underneath routes, moving the chains, and giving Young a reliable 3rd down option. If Renfrow can stay healthy and return to his Pro Bowl level form, he could be one of the most important pieces to help this offense actually sustain drives. On the defensive side, Carolina is thrilled to have Derek Brown back from injury. Brown is the heart of the defensive line, a disruptive force who can collapse pockets and swallow up running lanes. His absence last year was felt, and his return gives this defense the anchor it needs in the trenches. Pairing Brown's dominance with the relentless energy of Scarton and Uman could transform Carolina's pass rush and run defense into a strength again. Brown has developed into one of the leaders of the team, and his presence alone helps elevate the guys around him. If he stays healthy, this unit could look far more consistent than it did during some of last year's struggles. Of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing in the preseason. The starting offense had a rough outing in Week 2 against Houston, putting up just -2 yards across 2 series with no completed passes. The timing was off, and the Texans' defense looked a step ahead. The Panthers finished with just 164 total yards in a 23 loss. It was a humbling night, and Dave Canales admitted it was not the team's best showing. But what mattered was the response. By the finale, with Canales taking back play-calling duties, the offense showed more rhythm and flow. Even with backups in, they broke an 8-quarter touchdown drought and finally looked more cohesive. That adjustment was a glimpse of what fans hope to see once the real games begin. Still, not everything is settled, and there are weak spots that could hold this team back if they aren't addressed. One of the biggest concerns remains the middle linebacker position. Since Luke Kuechly's retirement, Carolina has struggled to find a true field general in the middle of the defense. The current rotation plays hard, but there isn't a clear difference maker who can diagnose plays, cover sideline to sideline, and lead the unit. Without that anchor, the defense risks giving up chunk plays in the run game and could be vulnerable to tight ends and running backs in coverage. Until someone emerges to take command, this will be a position opponents try to exploit. The secondary depth is another question mark. While J.C. Horn, Jeremy Chin, and now rookie Lathan Ransom headline a group with real talent, injuries have been a recurring theme. Horn in particular has missed stretches of seasons, and if starters go down, the drop-off in experience behind them is significant. The backups are unproven, and against the elite passing attacks in the NFC, that lack of depth could get exposed quickly. The hope is that the young corners and safeties stay healthy and step up, but right now, it's an area that brings uncertainty heading into the regular season. The preseason record may have been winless, but that doesn't tell the story. Carolina saw what it needed to from its rookies, and key veterans showed they are ready to take on bigger roles. McMillan already looks like a future star. Scourton and Ransom are injecting energy into the defense. Bryce Young showed poise and growth. Hubbard is back to steady the run game. Renfrow brings reliable hands, and Derek Brown's return can transform the trenches. The concerns remain. The offense must find consistency, and the line must keep Young upright. But there's real progress here. All told, the Panthers exit the preseason with reasons for optimism. Yes, there are areas to clean up, but the talent on this roster is undeniable. As Derek Brown himself said, "Don't doubt these Panthers." If the rookies keep ascending and the returning veterans play to their potential, this Carolina team could surprise a lot of people once Sundays start to matter.